I would expect those odds to change. And Tiger just bogeyed, by the way, on 14 to fall back to level par. But again, this will all be dated by the time this comes out, but I'm just giving you play-by-play anyway. That's what we're all doing today.
Hey everyone, welcome to The Lines. I am here with Trey Wingo, the Chief Trends Officer at Caesars Sportsbook, here to talk about the Masters. Trey, how have you been enjoying this opening round so far?
Nicole, great to be with you. It's a blast. It's just always fun. It feels like the year begins with the Masters. Spring is finally here for everybody, and it's been look. It's the fact that as we're recording this, Tiger Woods is under par in his first round of competitive on tour since the last time he played the Masters is absolutely remarkable. So it's just a lot of fun, and we're off and running.
All right, let's talk about Tiger because, as you said, Tiger is back. Fans are eager to see him do well. I think a lot of bettors, as some of the tweets that you put out, are very eager to see him do well. So what is your reaction so far to Tiger's first round, and are there any notable odd shifts that we've seen so far from what he's done on the course today?
Well, look, people say Tiger moves the needle. In golf, Tiger is the needle. Okay, they were 8 deep watching him in a practice round on Monday just to get a glimpse of the 5-time champion back there at Augusta. Before the tournament began, there are more tickets bet on Tiger to win, top 10, top 20, first round leader, and make the cut. It was ridiculous. And the make the cut, on Wednesday, he had 10 times more bets than the second place guy to make the cut. But when the tournament began, he had 18 times more bets than the next best odds to make the cut in terms of tickets sold, which was Max Homa. There's nobody in any sport that more defines their sport than Tiger Woods in golf. And the idea that he's back 17 months after that just horrendous car crash and seeing him playing, look, the fact that he's there is remarkable. The fact that his swing looks so good is just an added bonus. I mean, the hardest part for me, I thought, for Tiger going into this was would he be able to walk all 4 rounds? Because people that haven't been there, it is a far hillier golf course than people really think about or see on television. It's a difficult walk, and I think that's going to be the challenge for him going forward should he make the cut and play all 4 rounds.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen him play pretty well so far today. I mean, he was pretty consistent through hole 6, made his first real mistake on hole 8, and then, fought to save par on hole 9. And now he's, at the time of filming, I believe he's at -1, 2 behind the lead. So very exciting for a lot of golf fans out there today.
Yeah, there's a magic number, by the way, if you want to throw this out there. Tiger has never broken 70 in his first round at the Masters. His best round ever in the first round has been 70. And in 4 of the 5 times he's won the green jacket, he shot a first round 70. So if he gets into the house either below 70 or at 70, we are in great shape for something potentially spectacular this weekend. The other time he won in 2005, he actually shot a 74, 2 over on the first round, and still came back to win, beating Chris DeMarco in that epic playoff.
You can never count Tiger out. But are there any other top golfers odds on the move so far as round 1 continues? We saw at Caesars Sportsbook that Rahm was 10-1 coming into round 1, followed by Justin Thomas at 12-1 and Dustin Johnson at 16-1. Have we seen any other odd shifts, or have you guys seen them at Caesars Sportsbook so far?
Well, obviously, Scottie Scheffler, world number 1, is playing really, really well. He's already won a couple of times this year on tour, and he's at the time we're doing this, he's tied for the lead at 3 under par. This is a kid who's just not phased. I mean, at the Ryder Cup win over the Euros last year in the singles play, the Americans were the higher seed or the favorite in every one of the matches except Scottie Scheffler was taking on then world number 1 Jon Rahm, and Scottie did not care. He dusted Rahm in that singles match. So the odds are probably shifting on Scottie Scheffler a little bit with him off to such a great start and the hot streak he's been on. I would expect those odds to change. And Tiger just bogeyed, by the way, on 14 to fall back to level par. But again, this will all be dated by the time this comes out. But I'm just giving you play-by-play anyway. That's what we're all doing today. But everyone's doing this today. Like, I don't know how any work is getting done. This is what everybody's doing today. Because the part of it is, Nicole, let's be honest, you never know if this is the last time. Like, you just don't know. When he won in 2019, I thought no matter what happens, the rest of his career. Like he went on to win the Zozo Championship to tie Sam Snead for the most career wins on tour at 82. Like the fade to black scene will be him winning when they do the movie. The fade to black scene would be him winning the Masters. And then they say, and Tiger went on to blah, 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 blah. So like anything after that is sort of a bonus and an afterthought. So the fact that we're just seeing him out here competing and the fact that he's level par through 14 holes in his first round is ridiculous.
It's so exciting. Like you said, it's everything for the golf world after that accident. Like you said, most people never knew if he would ever step foot on a golf course again. And I think for him to make his return at the Masters, you know, for this major is just phenomenal. So everyone is enjoying it, no matter what we get. I think everyone is enjoying it. But we've talked about how you said Tiger is the line for golf betting. But if we're just speaking more generally about this tournament, why do you think there's so much more betting excitement around the Masters than there are some of the other golf majors throughout the year?
Well, it's the first one. And I think that can't be overstated, right? Like it's the first opportunity. And it does feel like for some of us that live in the Northeast, why we do this, I don't know, that it feels like there's hope, right? Like it is going to get warmer. We are going to see the sun. You know, it will get above 55 degrees. There's the Masters is always the most watched major of the year. So it's out of the gate. And Tiger said it himself. Like the only guy that has a chance to win the Grand Slam every year is the guy that wins the Masters. And you know when he had the Tiger Slam, he still doesn't consider that the Grand Slam. He's happy that he had all four, but that's the one thing that he always thinks about. I want to win all four. There's always hope around Augusta. It's a quirky golf course. I mean, it's a limited field, unlike every other major. And if you know the course, that can help you so much more than actually whether or not you're playing well. Like the history and having reps. It's like playing quarterback, right? You have to throw the ball 10,000 times to be really good at playing quarterback. The more reps and the more rounds you get around this course, you understand its subtleties and its nuances. So, you know, we've seen, and it always is so weather dependent. Like if it's ever soft and they get a bunch of rain and the wind doesn't pick up, they're going to take this course apart. You know, Bryson DeChambeau famously said it's par 68 for me because of the 4 par 5s. And he's never played well there because it's a tricky golf course and it's a tricky golf layout and it's weather dependent. So today, by the way, is the day to score because they had a lot of rain last night. And obviously you feel the same way. I saw a little shocker go up, and they had no wind. Well, the wind's picking up over the next 3 days and they're not going to get any more rain and the sun's going to come out. So it's going to get a little firmer. It's going to get a little faster and it's going to be a little difficult to play in with that wind blowing there. So today is the day to get into red numbers and then we'll figure out what happens over the next 3 days.
You've led me absolutely perfectly into my next question, which is that, I was going to say they've had pretty phenomenal weather for this first day, but we've seen on the forecast that the wind is probably going to start picking up. So are there any golfers that come to mind for you that you think can really handle the wind or, some of the nastier weather if it ends up coming through?
Well, you'd think that would lean you to people that have been around the course before, right? And certainly understand that. However, 6 of the last 7 winners at Augusta were first-time champions, the outlier being Tiger Woods in 2019. So for whatever reason, over the last few – and he just piped his drive on 15, so we're in good shape. Oh, hold on. It's going a little too far left. He said it a little too far left. But he'll be fine. He may be blocked out for a second shot. This will be great on the replay of this after the round is over. So I'm really, really ingratiating myself to all your viewers. So you would think – that for those reasons, it would be someone who's been around there. But history has shown us over the last, 6 of the last 7 winners have been first-time guys. But the most important thing about the Masters is you have to be able to have every shot, okay? You have to be able to flight the ball low. You have to be able to flight the ball high. You have to be able to bring it in from right to left. You have to be able to fade it left to right if you're a right-handed golfer. You have to have every chip and putt you could possibly have. This golf course with very little rough to speak of is one of the more penal golf courses out there because the greens are so slick and they're big greens, right? But depending on where they put the pin, less than 1/5 of the green is actually in play. They're just little, depending on where the pin is, you have about a 10-foot square where you can put that ball around that pin and not be totally screwed with that thing falling off and going 30, 40 feet away. So you have to be accurate and crisp in every aspect of your game to survive 4 rounds at Augusta National.
I was going to say it's deceptive when you look at the course and you see the greens, but like you said, it is all about the pin placement because it really
Correct.
narrows the playing field there. All right, we're just going to get some fun questions. I've never been to Augusta National, but I believe you have.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite things about being at that course?
Well, it's funny, right? Because you're not allowed to run. So, they will kick you out if you run. So everyone, when the gates open, race walks, because it's like the Olympics where the guys can't lift their feet off because that would be running, not walking. Everyone sort of race walks to their favorite spot to get where they need to be. The concessions at Augusta, like everything is $1.50 or $2, except for domestic and imported beer, which is $5, because everyone knows that's where we're
you
going.
You can't get those prices anywhere besides Costco anymore.
Exactly. Like it is. If you're hungry, and get to Augusta because you will eat like a champion, and it won't cost you a lot. That's one of the fun things about it. It's hillier than people think. It is so much hillier than people think. It's a difficult walk, and that's why Tiger Woods making his return here, I think, is fascinating because, you would think for anybody else, they'd want to sort of ease back into it somewhere else. But obviously he knows this course so well. And like I said, a 5-time champion, he feels very comfortable here. It is a difficult walk. In fact, golf.com, I have the numbers for you here, tracked it a few years ago and what it is. They did it with a Fitbit. It's a total steps to walk 18 holes. And this is, without going back and forth to your caddy and the bag and all that stuff, 9,837 steps, 3.71 miles, but more importantly, 50 floors. And that's equivalent, by the way, to climbing to the top of the Washington Monument. So that's how hilly the course is. And it doesn't really translate that well or that hilly when you see it on television. But it is a much more difficult sort of grind than people really understand. And that's why Tiger making his debut on tour here, I think, is fascinating.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that were fading Tiger were definitely taking the fitness and the leg and, being able to walk that much into account.
Guy won a U.S. Open with a broken leg and a torn ACL. People always ask me, what's reasonable for Tiger Woods this weekend? I'm like, I have no idea. He's a completely unreasonable human being. Like, I could see him missing the cut and I could see him winning the damn thing. He's Tiger freaking Woods, man. There's never been a guy like him, and I'm not sure there ever will be again.
No, but I think, that's why everyone's so excited to watch. And that's why all of the tickets are coming in on him, because like you said, you don't know how many more opportunities you're going to get to see a player like him. But to go ahead and wrap it up for today, what should sports bettors know about wagering on the Masters at Caesars Sportsbook?
Well, there's a million things. We put in a couple of super boosts that I thought were pretty fun. One of them was, will there be an ace on 16? I think there's been 23 aces on 16 historically. We had one year, I think we had 3. I think it was 2016 where we had 3 aces in one tournament. We've had 8 over the last 6 Masters. So a little boost that we put on Caesars was, will there be an ace on 16? Will John Rahm, the favorite, who when the week started, come through with a win? I mean, this course is tailor-made for him, and he's actually played really well. He's at a top 10 in his most of his majors. I think the last 10 majors that he's played in, he's at a top 10. And there's been this really quirky thing. Every year that ends in 2, an American has won the Masters. When you go to 22,
I did not know that.
2012, 02, 92, 82, 72. So it's been a long streak that a guy that whenever there's a win, whenever the year ends in 2, it's an American that has won. So that's a fun one to bet on as well.
Awesome. There are a lot of different options for betting on the Masters at Caesars Sportsbook. So if you are interested, make sure you are visiting the app. Trey, thank you so much for sitting down to talk Masters with us.
Nicole, I will sit down and talk Masters with you or anybody else anytime you want. Thanks for having me.